Hello and welcome to anybody and everybody that's listening. Welcome to the Lopez Podcast 2020. Welcome to the new decade, motherfuckers. It's time to be 2020. How's it going, everybody? It's me, ya boy, Nathaniel. Don't know why I said it like that. It's just been a while. I haven't done a podcast by myself in a really long time. What's that all about, you're asking? Well, I couldn't tell you. No, I can tell you. Should I tell you? Do you think you're worthy of it? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if you're worth it. Should I tell you? But so what's been going on is I just have been caught up in bullshit. Bullshit of work. Trying to stay in society's graces, by being a hardworking, tax-paying American citizen. No, I've been getting fucked around a lot at my job. So sometimes I get 2 days off a week. Sometimes I get 1 day off a week. And whenever I have that 1 day off, I usually spend it doing something aside from interviewing people. And that's why I haven't been doing these podcast episodes. Dude, there's like four episodes you can listen to about me talking about why there haven't been episodes lately. But you know what? I've just been busy. Been working on other stuff. And this podcast just fell to the waste for a second. But guess what? Pulling these pants back up, even though if it's at my waist, that's where pants belong. But I've just been doing Let the Freak Speak. That's still going pretty good. October, we had a really good month. We did an episode every single week, and I was really excited about that. We were getting this great routine down, and as always, life has a way of just kind of punching you right in the fucking dick. So Nick had car problems, and we weren't able to, do an episode like every single week, and it fucked with our consistency. And it's good when you start to build a consistency, and it sucks so bad whenever you just fucking lose that consistency. And, it's not like we chose to, you're just like, no, let's not do an episode this week. But it was like, I can't do an episode this week. We literally couldn't, even though we wanted to, do episodes every single week, we couldn't because, certain stipulations that were going on in our lives. I started damn, you can hear my fucking heater going off. Let me just turn down my gain a little bit. Maybe you can not hear it as much. Gain's going back up because I can't hear myself now. I wish that my fucking heater wasn't so loud, but anyway, what was I even talking about? I was talking about Let the Freak Speak and losing consistency. And once you lose your consistency in your speech, it's pretty much when you should go outside and start digging your grave because you're going to die pretty soon that way. Now, I just started another podcast with my great friend Andy. And I know what you're thinking. Another fucking podcast, dude? Don't you have like 120 fucking things going on? Why are you doing this whenever those things aren't even taking off as much as you want them to? Because I can do whatever the fuck I want creatively and get to it whenever the fuck I want. If I want to make 12,000 shows and have one episode every here and fucking there, well, guess what? I'll probably find a way to do it. Maybe I won't make money off of it, but god damn it, I guess that's why I'm working a shitty dead-end job. But I'm just being a little bitching about things. Well, when it comes to work, I go and I bust my ass. I'm a hardworking guy. And I just feel like I get treated like shit by the company that I work for right now and the management I have. But what are you going to do? Find a new job? Well, hopefully something that will help me grow better. Because let me tell you this, and if you're listening to this and you're doing what I do, just stocking fucking shelves at a grocery store, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel like you are meant to do better than that, don't keep fucking stocking shelves. If you hate it and it's wearing you down to the point where you can't squeeze any ounce of creativity out of you, quit that fucking job. Find a job that is more suitable for you, one that will help you grow in some facet of your life. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, why the fuck haven't you done that yet? Guess what? I'm working on it. I don't want to be at a grocery store for my whole fucking life. I have no desire to. And I'm not trying to knock people that are at a grocery store for the rest of their life, because it's an honest job. It's honest work, and it's work. It's just work that I don't find any growth in. The most I could grow to be is someone that runs a store. They're like, yeah, I run this store. Oh, when was the company founded? Way in the fuck back in the day. I'm just one of the 1,000 store directors that climbed the corporate ladder. And I wouldn't say the corporate ladder, because when you say, oh, he climbed the corporate ladder, that's all you can do is just climb the corporate ladder. I'm a soldier of society, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with climbing a ladder to get somewhere. In a corporation, it's known as the corporate ladder. Some people find ways to talk shit about the corporate ladder, because you know what? You can talk shit about the corporate ladder if it's a shitty corporation. And I know what some of you punk rock enthusiasts are thinking. You're thinking, oh, corporations are bad fucking corporations. Well, not true. Not true. I don't believe that. And if you do believe that, I feel you're not going to come back to this podcast. Whatever. I mean, I'm not a corporate lover, but I do believe that you should fucking make something. Make something yourself. That makes no sense. It doesn't seem like it fits in with everything I just said. Hey, I'm rusty. Haven't done a podcast alone in forever. I mean, I've sat through episodes of Solace's Freaky Tales, and I listened to him go by himself, and yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to talk by yourself. It's not easy to have no one to talk to. But guess what? Probably going to be hearing a lot more solo episodes from this podcast, because like I've said in the 4 fucking past episodes, probably, no one wants to drive all the way out here to come sit in my office and listen to a podcast that barely anybody's listening to, especially now because of how long of a hiatus I took. This is probably the first episode in months, and thanks for listening to it. If you're listening to it, thank you very much. I'll cheers you to that. I'm drinking some whiskey right now out of this beautiful glass that I got for Christmas by my wife. That one's for you, America. Oh. Woo! It's 4, almost 5, and this whiskey's feeling great. Everybody's like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Dude, go drink a beer at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to say, damn, I'm pretty jealous. You probably don't have much to do today. I mean, going to work, can't just drink a beer before work. Unless you're self-employed, then you are living the fucking dream. But, getting wasted before work, probably never good, even if you work at home. because you're probably not going to get much work done if you're wasted, unless your whole purpose of your whole source of income is being completely fucked up. Then yeah. Well, I guess that's a good transition into not my next thing, because I gotta finish up the fucking sentences or the ideas that I never fully elaborated on. So I said, me and my friend and I, Jose Andres Salas Jr., me and him and I just started a new podcast called Sippin' Slowly. And I'm thinking probably going to be released pretty soon. Probably within the next week. If I upload this episode the day that I'm recording it, then next week. And if you're listening to this before the 23rd, then you're good. And next week there will be a new 85631 production show, podcast show called Sippin' Slowly Podcast, where Andy and I try and either be philosophical or foolish or just completely belligerently drunk as we attempt to sip slowly on whatever we're drinking and have conversations. Hopefully some are funny, hopefully some have meaning. But do we really know what's going to happen? I don't think we do. I don't think we know what's going to happen with this podcast. The first 2 episodes were recorded months apart. Not months, a month apart, because, we've just been sipping slowly. Maybe we'll try and build a routine with it. I don't think it's going to be a weekly podcast. Maybe a once a month thing. Maybe twice a month if we decide to meet up twice a month, have some drinks. Because when Andy and I drink, for some fucking reason, like not many people make me want to drink so much, like get completely drunk. But for some fucking reason, whenever I'm around whenever I'm around Andy, I just become a fucking idiot. I stoop down to his level and I drink. And sometimes I don't. But for the most part, I'm always just having a lot of drinks, and the drinks just go down really easy whenever me and him are chilling together. Like, I have no self-control for some reason. And sometimes it ends with me backing into some fucking metal thing and doing something to someone's vehicle. And not saying I'm driving drunk, because I'm not admitting to that, officer, if you are listening. But we just act stupid. And Andy always tries to get me so drunk to the point where we end up sitting in his car just listening to music on his big ass, in his car, because it's got good speakers, Sometimes doesn't work. All I know is this podcast is either gonna make us look like we know shit when we're drinking, or it's gonna make us, and more than likely this one, make us look like fucking idiots. Almost positive gonna ruin everyone's perception on us, but I guess you're just gonna have to listen to the podcast whenever it comes out to find out, what really happens when you're an idiot and you're sipping slowly. Because if you're sipping slowly, you should be able to handle yourself, right? And it's funny we call it sipping slowly, because that's the last fucking thing we do throughout the whole podcast. We do not sip slowly. Like I just said, whenever we're around each other, we just get this stupid urge to drink. And it's not every time we're together, but every time that we both have time off, or we get together on a weekend, and sorry, my cat's fucking meowing like crazy. Let me take care of this for 1 second. And that 1 second's over. Okay, so like I was saying before my cat so rudely meowed the fuck into my podcast. Um, every time Andy and I get together, we drink less than slowly. We don't drink slowly. We sip fast. We consume, I wouldn't say too much, because what is too much when you are drinking? Who knows? For sure, you can. Well, we don't black out. Okay, so let's listen to us there. We don't black out. We are, our sentences aren't incoherent. We make sense for the most part. But I'm not going to lie. In the second episode, I got way too drunk because should I tell you right now? Because is it ruining the podcast if I tell you about an episode of that podcast? Or does it just make you want to go listen to it more? See, this is where I'm kind of confused. I tossed it up in the air. Should I give you a little bit of hints on what we did? Let's just say this. Andy brought 4 bottles of wine over to my house to do this second episode. We drank about half a bottle of wine, and then we said, fuck this wine, and we started drinking whiskey. That's all I'm going to say about that second episode, aside from the other stuff that I already said about it. And yeah, so that podcast should be coming out pretty soon. Sipping slowly. There's going to be 2 episodes upon release. You know, what's that? Yeah, 2 episodes upon release. Sorry. A Thanksgiving episode and I believe a Christmas or New Year's episode. No, it's a 2020. It was the first podcast of the year, I believe. So, Sipping Slowly's got a Thanksgiving episode and a New Year episode, or possibly Christmas. I do not remember. I don't think it's Christmas. It's got to be a New Year episode. So that's going to be Sipping Slowly. That's an 85631 Productions podcast. You can check that out wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts. More than likely where you're listening to this podcast is where you're probably going to listen to that podcast. If you're so cool enough to go and listen to that fucking podcast whenever it's released, which should be next week. Which is, I believe, past, if it's past the 26th, probably maybe the 30th of January. Maybe that will be the release of the first 2 episodes of Sippin' Slowly podcast with Andy Salas and Nathaniel Lopez, which is me. I'm Nathaniel Lopez, like I said earlier. Andy Salas is a crazy motherfucker who's from Salas' Freaky Tales. I think he's got another podcast in the works right now. He is a rapper, goes by Solace. I'm positive I played some of his songs at the end of my episodes. And he's also in a rap group called Los Lenny's Locos with Haro and Goonie. Goonie! I gotta get that motherfucker on this podcast pretty soon-y. Sunni Indians, they were a tribe. Yeah, this episode might seem a little broken up in places because guess what? I've stopped recording various amounts of time. Yeah, it's pretty difficult for me to do solo episodes. I don't have much to talk about. I mean, I could talk about how shitty life is. Could talk about less. Could talk about this. Could talk about that. Could talk about that. Toilet just played a show at Edge Bar. We played the Better on the Inside release show. It was really fun, and if you don't know who Better on the Inside is, you should go check them out. They're really cool Tucson locals. Kind of play like an alternative rock, I would say. Kind of grungish. I don't know what to label them. Maybe I'll get one of them on the show to talk more about who they are as people and what sound they're going for. Anyway, we played the release show at Edge Bar, kind of becoming Toilet's resident area of shows. Our last 3 shows, I believe, were at this venue. It's a really cool bar. It's whatever. It's not known for its music. Well, I guess it is. They have a stage there. And one of the security guards told me he's been playing shows there since the 80s. So I guess this is a local music hub scene area, venue, whatever you kids want to call it these days. It's becoming more of a music scene, which is cool. And when I say more of a music scene, I mean I'm seeing more people my age, younger people, and I think during the 80s, there was probably a lot of younger people that would go there all the time. But I think they stayed with that time of like hair metal and those groups of metalheads just kind of kept fueling this place, which used to be known as the River's Edge. And the first time we actually ever played there, me and Efren, was in our old band FWF. We had a show at this place. We were playing some web show, I think. It was called The Breakfast Club with some lady named Candy or something. We were young. I think I was a junior in high school, and we were gonna go play at a bar, which, seems cool. Cause you're like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm going to a bar. I'm only a junior. I'm not just going to a bar, but I'm playing at a bar. Well, playing at a bar, not really that cool when you can't go buy fucking drinks from the bar and you have to put X's on your hand because they pretty much make you straight edge because you legally can't drink there. It sucks. So we played this show there. It was called the River's Edge at the time. Played the Breakfast Club. We played like 2 sets, like split up by an interview, which was okay. The interview was whatever. Very, nervous at the time. I was a junior in high school, so we were all really young. Didn't really have good charisma. Didn't know how to talk well into a camera or a microphone or just to someone asking me questions. But got over that, and now it's a lot different. Now I ask people questions behind a microphone and sometimes a camera. I don't know if you heard that, but I did. And my cats are jumping around. Unless it was someone going through a cabinet, then that's not the cats going crazy. Then that's just me hearing cabinets being opened. But that's that. And I was talking about this venue that's becoming more of a hub for younger bands, which is cool because I like playing there. And if you're 21, it's definitely a lot better than being under 21 and not being able to drink while you're enjoying a show and listening to some cool bands. They throw shows a lot. I know that some promoter just pretty much took claim to throwing shows at this venue, which is cool because the Tucson music scene could definitely use some more stability. But who am I to say anything about the Tucson music scene? I don't even live in Tucson anymore. My band plays in Tucson, but usually in various areas that aren't. I don't know. We've been playing at the same bar for three shows now, so we play bar shows a lot. Like playing bar shows, especially like I said, you're 21. It's cool. And I get it. Some people are just like, dude, fuck bar shows because then the kids that aren't 21 can't go. Well, dude, some of these bar shows are all ages, dude. You just got to put a big old straight edge X on your hand. You're good to go. You can go in there and not drink, but you can enjoy the music because that's what you want to do, right? You came here to enjoy the music because you can't come here to drink. So you're not here to drink. right? Okay, well, that's that, and that's that. And that is that, huh? So, yeah, that was that. We played that release show. It was really fun. Had a good time. Ate some super bomb ass Mexican food afterwards. Ate a Sonoran dog and some nachos that were delicious. Been eating some fucking amazing nachos lately, and I'm just thinking about going on a quest to see where the best nachos are. Probably never gonna happen. But if I do, well, shit, wouldn't that be cool? Nathaniel's nacho experience. Making a mess while I'm drinking this fucking whiskey. Ugh, on a Tuesday. Why on a Tuesday? Well, life's been good to me, so I just feel like I can pour up and have a drink. Yeah, baby. Why am I talking like that? Well, I don't know. Because I told you earlier, not very good at doing solo episodes. Even though I told you, you'll probably be hearing a lot more of these because of definitely want to get back into interviewing people because I miss it a lot. It has more. It's not that these other podcasts that I do, like there are serious conversations thrown about it, and even in some of these podcasts, it doesn't seem like they're so serious because the person I'm interviewing or just talking to is very. I'm very good friends with them, and I know them pretty well to the point where we can just joke about things. But I definitely want to get more. Oh, I say this every fucking time. Say this every single fucking solo episode I do. Definitely want to get more guests on. So you're asking me, well, why don't you get more guests on your fucking podcast? Well, because I'm a busy dude, and sometimes I start to slack a little bit. I think of things for a long time and I just let them sit in my head, marinate for more than they need to, probably. And then I act on it in a clutter, in a burst. So maybe I should just start doing seasons of this show, huh? Yeah, just like season 2, a handful of podcasts. Season 3, a handful of podcasts. Season 4, handful of podcasts. Season 5, if we haven't picked up steam by then, blow your brains. No, I don't know. If I haven't picked up steam by then, keep trucking because you'll find some coal to throw into that furnace and get that steam engine going. Can you imagine? Crazy to think that engines used to be run on steam. I don't even understand the mechanics behind it, and if I wanted to, I would just look it up. But I'm going to be ignorant about it and just be in total awe that fucking machines were once ran by steam. That's crazy. Fucking crazy. So crazy, it just might work. If you know what that movie is, cool. That's awesome. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this episode up because, I can't do it. I need to talk to someone else. That's why I have podcasts with other people because it's tough. It's tough to talk to yourself. It's tough to talk to yourself pretending like you're talking to a crowd when really you're sitting at your desk talking to no one. Hopefully, maybe, if there's a hopeful maybe, then if I don't interview someone, you'll probably get a solo episode. Try and stick to that, but who knows? It's pretty tough to stick to a schedule, especially when you're doing solo episodes by yourself. I'm free soloing it. I'm climbing up rocks. I'm climbing up mountains by myself with no shit on, and I'm just gonna fall because I'm losing my train of thought, or I'm stupid, and I'm just dumb, and blah blah blah. Thanks for listening to the N. Lopez podcast. I'm gonna play some kind of music right now, some music of some sort. Maybe I'll just play an old Third Gate song. Yeah, I'm gonna play a Third Gate song, an instrumental Third Gate song. Who knows which song it's gonna be? I guess I'll re-record and say what song I'm gonna put right now. So thanks for listening to this podcast, and stick around if you want to hear one of my solo project songs. All right, this song is called Sage Dances. It was off of the last 2019 Third Gate release, which was And the End of Days. So here it is, a little lo-fi bop that I made called Sage Dances. And like I said in that last clip, thanks for listening to this podcast. Take it easy.
We started a fire that night. It was burning so bright, but all I could see was your eyes. Yeah, all I could see was your eyes. We began to dance on the brightest times, the brightest times. Sage dances on the ground as the fire burns around her. Sage dances on the fire, the wild side of her is showing. Growing to know the people, loving to hope that people will get better, will get better. Sage dances around the fire, the fire.
Thanks for listening. If you thought that was fire, be sure to check out all the other songs off of any Third Gate release I do. You can find any of those songs on YouTube, on the 85631 Productions YouTube page, or the Nathaniel Lopez SoundCloud. I'm going to say it again. Thanks for listening to this fucking podcast. Be sure to follow 85631 Productions on Instagram at 85SIX31, and also on Facebook. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And subscribe to all these podcasts. You know, the N. Lopez Podcast, Let the Freak Speak. Follow Sippin' Slowly. Subscribe to Sippin' Slowly whenever that comes out. Solace's Freaky Tales. And whenever that new Solace podcast comes out, be sure to subscribe to that as well. Thanks for listening. Again, I'm going to say 1,000 more fucking times before this podcast actually ends. Nah, there's the outro. Later.